Hey, welcome to Code Riddles. Myself Ronak Prajapati. Today we will learn about WordPress. So it's just a basic setup we are learning for WordPress. So let's first download the WordPress. Actually, I already downloaded, but want to show you where you can find it. So here you can find your WordPress setup, and you can download this link. And I already did that, so want to use that instead of downloading the full setup again. I renamed that. Okay, WordPress gives you this zip file. You extract it and rename as you required. I already rename it to Code Riddles, and which contains 3 directories and lots of files. So you don't have to mess with that. We will do that in our later tutorials where we can modify our WordPress code, or we can add our own code. So first thing we required is our database. So for that I have to go to phpMyAdmin tool. You can find that link over your WAMP setup if you are using WAMP. You can also find that on XAMPP. Okay, so I'm using phpMyAdmin. I already created a database which is blank right now. It doesn't have any tables, but we can use that setup. So let's go to localhost URL and click on Code Riddles, which is pointing to this Code Riddles. So click on Code Riddles and click on create a configuration file. Let's go and name that you given to your database at phpMyAdmin. You have to give it here, and root as my username for MySQL, and of course MySQL password, which I don't have, so leave it blank. Database host is localhost, and table prefix is wp_. Hit submit. It will create the necessary tables for WordPress, and click on run the install, and which will ask you for site name, which I am setting as a Code Riddles. Username for admin, managing the whole WordPress site, which is you can name it whatever you want, but I'm leave it as a default admin, and password as a taste. It is weak, I know, but who cares? It's localhost. We are working on our development environment, so we don't have to put a password too complicated, but it is recommended by WordPress that you use a strong password for admin user. Email address, I'm setting it as taste@gmail.com. It's not let's say I have a coderiddles.com. I have that email address, so we can use that. And I don't want to search engine to search my site, or obviously search engine can't search the localhost site, so I'm unchecking this and click on install WordPress, which will set up whole WordPress website, and it takes some time to configure. And once it's done, it says success, and we can log in here. Our username is admin, password is taste. Click on login, and you will be redirected to your admin panel, which is your dashboard. Dashboard contains lots of things that we can manage, but we will discuss each thing in detail later in our next tutorials. But for now, this is your dashboard, and this link here point to your front end site. So click on that, and you will be, actually I control click on that brings another tab, and that loads our front end site, which don't have many content yet, but single post which says hello world, and some widgets already pre-configured by WordPress, and our heading, and navigation, which contains a home and sample page link. Sample page is also created by WordPress as a default. We can delete it, we can rename it, we can modify it, whatever we can through this dashboard area. So first thing is what we have here. We have our dashboard link, which contains home, which is this page currently showing, and another is updates, which we discuss about it later, and then we have is post, which contains all our posts. As we can see, click on all post and it contains hello world post. WordPress is basically used for a blog website, so it mainly targeting the blog website, so it has many cool features about blog site. But today WordPress is also used for content management system, as well as shopping carts, social networking, lots of things we can do with WordPress. Next section is our media, which contains our images, videos, all the stuff. Next section is pages, which contains our static pages, and next is comments, which we will discuss about later. Appearance, plugins, users, tools, and last option is settings, which we are looking right now. Settings contain 6 sections right now, which is general, writing, reading, discussion, media, and permalinks. First thing is we have to set up our general settings, which WordPress by default sets some for us. As you can see, my URL is set to localhost/coderiddles, as well as site address. Next is our site title, which is coderiddles. I want to do that, and remember we set up while configuring our WordPress setup. Tagline is just another WordPress site, which I want to modify it to way to learn programming, and or let's set coderiddles tagline, which is good programmers code smart reuse. Next is our email address, which is already set by us, and membership, anyone can register. I don't want to do that, but if you allow anyone to register in your website, you can check this mark. Next thing is when a new user registered, it will go under which role. So by default is subscriber. We'll discuss this role section later. Next thing is time zone, which is already set to UTC plus 0. I don't want to do that, but if you want to point it to your local area, which in my case is Asia and India. So at this, and oh, my country is not listed. Okay, so we have to put our time zone here, so which is UTC plus 5:30, and date format to whatever we can give. Like I like this format, but if you want to change it, you can do that. Next thing is time format, which is this is perfect for me. Week starts on Monday, or maybe you can set it on Sunday. Save changes, and it will affect on our front end website. So remember, we change one thing: good programmers code smart reuse, or tagline. So it's already changed. So this is nice feature of WordPress, that giving a easy to use dashboard area. Next section we are going into is writing section. On writing section, first thing is lots of options are for advanced users, so I'll discuss that on our later tutorials. So don't be afraid by that. So let's go into the formatting section. So convert our emotions to like a smiley. It will be converted in a graphical image of a smiley, which is a yellow image which many sites uses. Okay, next thing is WordPress should correct invalid nested XHTML automatically. I don't want to do that because sometimes I use a different type of XHTML code to make my work, which is not part of right now, so I'll leave it for now. Default post category is uncategorized and default post format is standard. We don't have to modify in this code, but we will modify this mail section later. Now next thing is reading. This is the area we have to modify. Like front page display is your latest post, which means your blog will be displayed as your home page, or you can set a static page, but I don't want to do that because we are learning that section in our pages. When we learn this thing, we also cover this one. Next is blog pages show at most how many posts. So by default our blog page will show 10 posts. If we want to modify it to 5, we can modify it here, but the result will be displayed when we create new posts. Right now we have only one post, so it doesn't matter how much we set over there, it will only show one post. So we leave it for right now. And for each article in a feed show, this is for RSS feeds, which we'll discuss later. So right now we don't have to modify our readings except search engine visibility. For developing purpose, we discourage search engines from indexing this site. Make sure this is checked, so search engine will not search your site for indexing. And WordPress also say it is up to search engines to honor this request. Means this doesn't mean that every search engine follow this option. So hit on save. I didn't modify any changes, so I'll leave it that. Next thing is discussion. If you want to put allow comments to post on your website, check this mark. Anyone post a comment. And one more thing, sometimes a ridiculous comment will be posted on your site which downs your reputation or downs your website reputation. So you want to put comment on moderation, so admin can check that and approve or reject that comment. Next thing, sometimes you have to put comment right at the moment when comment is being posted. So that comment should be from an author which already have a comment previously approved. So if you want to do that, mark this option. Okay. And also when a comment contains a link, you have to put that in a moderation, because sometimes it's becoming very general that someone put lots of links in your website as a comment. So I want to set it to 1, but it's your opinion about that. WordPress default sets it to the 2, but I want it to 1. If anyone posts a comment which contains a link in it, I want to review it. Okay, so next we want to enable our growthas. So we'll check this mark and hit on save. That's all we have to do for our settings area. And one last thing remain is the permalink, which is the most important thing we have to do, because WordPress creates this type of URL which contains $p equal to 1243, which is our ID. Right now we don't have ID, this is just a sample, but we want to make changes to our URL structure. We can do that here, like post name. We can set it to post name, and which is preferable by search engine. So from SEO point of view, this is best out of the others. So set it our post name and click on save changes, and that's all you have to do. So now this link, which is right now, you can see it over here. So it is p equal to 1. Okay, now if I refresh this page, it will show that link as hello-world, which you can see it over here. Okay, see hello-world. You can copy that and paste it over new tab to see how it works. Previously it was a question mark and p equal to 1, which replaced by hello world, and it still working. So this is where you can configure your URL structure. Okay, so we done with our settings. In the next video we will discuss about this post section and also a comment section. So stay tuned with us and get ready to dive into WordPress. Thank you for watching this tutorial about WordPress.